looking as fabulous as ever.
Well, the weather's been kind to it. No frost just a minute.
Yeah, it looks good, it looks good. Hello, welcome to another episode of The Radio Gardeners.
And you'll find Carolyn on the radio.
And you'll find Trevor right here in the garden.
And
Today we're going to do something different.
Bird feed.
We're talking about bird feed. Come with us and have a look. So, Trevor, I can hear the birds in your garden, and I'm sure in the mornings it must be a real delight for you.
Look how close they come to our window. You know, and we've got a nice bit of cover for them here. They can hide here, and they come in out of the bushes, and we could have 24 goldfinches, etc. But the whole secret is give them a little bit of cover and sort of tempt them into security. The other secret is what to feed them with, and I firmly believe in sunflower hearts, and that's what we've in here. Good old sunflower hearts, white sunflower hearts, absolutely brilliant, and guaranteed to get you more varieties of birds than any other feed.
Now, I know that from talking to you before about the sunflower hearts, that you actually like to not spoil the birds. Sometimes you would cover a few of these holes up.
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
Well, the thing is, if you look at the design of this, when it's filled up, which it was this morning, so they've had that in a day, you know, there are a number of areas where they can't get at, so they have to work their way progressively down. Sometimes I will close down one or two just to elongate it. And sometimes if I'm going away for the weekend or something, we'll shut one port down. But these feeders now, this one must be at least 10 years old.
Look at this, it's real sturdy, isn't it?
Yep. And, you know, it's got a lovely little roof on it to keep the rain from getting down into it. The very important thing is, and it's now due, I'm embarrassed to say, it's now due another clean. It's very important to keep bird feeders nice and clean and shiny.
Yeah, well, I know from buying bird feeders over the years that sometimes they just don't last and they end up that you're throwing them away.
Sure.
And in an age where we're looking at recycling and not throwing plastic away, this seems like a really good sturdy one. Where would you get this? Did you get it online? Or?
I got that one online, but I've seen very similar ones to it in garden centres locally. The great thing is these are aluminium and they're hinged, and the whole thing comes apart. So I can get it right in the individual pieces, get my sort of bottle brush down inside it and get it gleaming.
Good clean. And you say the sunflower hearts are that's for all birds, not just for your goldfinch?
No, all birds. All birds. I see the robins coming eating off the ground and all sorts of finches coming off the ground. I do also provide, if the camera can catch it, a little fat ball. Just for those that don't want any of the sunflower hearts. So
it's interesting because
a very diet.
A lot of times whenever I go into, as I call them, the wee cheapy shops, and you'll see the sunflower hearts, but they're not shelled. So what's the difference?
It's purely and simply that has been graded, that you're getting simply the heart of the sunflower seed, and that's what makes it that little bit more expensive. And it is a bit more expensive, but the joy that we get from these,
I can only
so
imagine.
Entertaining.
You're sitting on your armchair like the lord of the manor, watching these beautiful birds. You can see how he loves it, right?
We have work to do.
I know. Let's go. So, apart from talking about the birds, we could talk about all day because I love them. And who doesn't love the wee birds in their garden?
So today,
this time of the year, we're going to be looking at planting bulbs.
Yeah, well, you know, this is getting a little bit late, perhaps, for bulb planting, but I have a few that I have here that in fact flowered this year for me, absolutely flowered for me this year, and then I lifted them in summer and they've been sitting in my nice cool shed drying, and they are now...
Did you just leave them in that pot?
Absolutely.
In here?
No, in the shed. Yeah.
Right, okay, so it's nice and
as long as
dark.
they're dry, then they go into hibernation, and in fact if you look closely, some of them will be showing signs of growth already. And those are firm, really, really nice bulbs, and they'll be perfect.
So you're telling me that last year, just so that we're clear, last year this was one and it's turned into two?
Yeah.
Right, and can you just pull those apart?
You can indeed.
So therefore you have two bulbs to put in.
Doubles your money.
Fabulous.
Doubles your money.
Fabulous.
So what I'm going to do is going to put some into nice big 10-inch diameter pots, and I'm going to interspace them with some dwarf wallflower. So years ago we used to buy wallflower sort of field grown, so you would actually go along to the little nursery and you would buy a dozen of those wrapped in newspaper.
No way.
A bit
back
like
in the olden days, Trevor.
A bit like your fish and chips. But now what's happening is you go along to the nursery and you buy a little pot of 3, and you can see it's perfectly
Can
written.
I separate these?
You can.
Yeah,
you can.
Okay. So be gentle like you did. Just go in here.
That's it. Now if you look at that, look at the root on that. That's going to take off like nobody's business. It's going to
Yeah,
fly.
it's really
So
healthy.
if we step outside, then I have 2 pots, as they say in the cookery programs that we made earlier. So there's 2 pots, nice compost, and literally all I'm going to do is put those in there.
So you're going to put the 3 in there?
Yep.
You've just separated them.
And you go ahead, and I'll bring some bulbs.
Okay.
And then, as a golden rule, what we're after, and look at the lovely hairy roots on that. Now look at the diameter of that. What we're going to do is plant at least twice the diameter. So let's say that's 2 inches. We want that to be 4 or 5 inches deep. So just get your finger or thumb or whatever. Or in fact, it's maybe...
Got a dibber? Have you got a
Well,
dibber?
I've got a choice of. Look at these.
Oh,
Look at these.
okay.
So these are perfect for bulb planting. So it's a case of down in and just hold back the soil. And sometimes they say if you plant tulips deep, then you don't need to lift them again. I'm not just sure how good that is. I will continue as the years go on to lift these every summer.
Yeah.
And then,
They have a shorter lifespan though than the daffs, don't they?
well, they don't sort of exist. Now that one's sort of firm.
Looks like there's 3, isn't it?
Yeah, dividing them up. There's 3. Now, I'm leaving a space here for one more of the... And the interesting thing is that our dwarf wallflower, and these are dwarf ones, you can buy tall ones. The dwarf ones you can buy in single colours. So these are all 3 going to be yellow, which
Right.
would be rather nice.
So whenever, are you telling me that whenever these die down, then the tulips come?
Oh, no. Same
You're doing
time.
that at the same time?
Same time.
Okay.
So these wallflower, even though they're showing a little bit of colour now, these wallflower will really bush out and show next year lovely yellow, and your tulips will come up through it.
Beautiful.
So it couldn't
Have
be
you
better.
got room there for another
Oh, yeah.
of those?
Here he is.
Okay.
So that's our tulips and wallflower. And really you can't do much wrong. Even if you're slightly tight beside one another, they will sort themselves out. So it's always good to plant in 3s, 5s or 7s. If we put even numbers, then it looks far too balanced. It doesn't look natural enough. Now I'll just top that up with a little bit more compost.
Did you hear that? Always plant in 3s. It's a good tip.
3s, 5s or
balance,
7s.
yeah.
3, 5s or 7s.
Okay, so now
That's
you're
it.
talking about these tulips. The daffs gone in as well at the same time?
Daffs, all my daffs are in and I've no more to do. These are just ones that I had from last year that I forgot about.
Right.
So I'm afraid I left it until now, but it's no problem.
Is it ever too late to put the bulbs in?
You know, I've planted daffodils in December and they're absolutely fine. They just come a little bit later the first year and subsequent years then they naturalise and come at normal daff time.
Sure.
Never too late. Provided there's good firmness in the bulb, it'll be fine.
Yeah, that'll be grand. Well, I hope you got something out of that, because we could listen to Trevor talking to us about bulbs all day, because come spring, your garden's going to look beautiful. Just follow the advice that you were given.
And if you've any questions, just drop us a line on the YouTube and we'll do our best to answer. We'll not say we'll manage to do them all, but we'll do our best to do some.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.